I'm looking for a certain Felena. Is she one of the girls in this house?
Felena is one of my most enchanting girls, and she is well educated. She will be just impertinent enough to please you, my dear. I'm surprised that you know her.
I learned that she was, rather close to my brother.
Of course. I should have known. Gawain very much enjoyed Felena's attentions. Would you care to spend some time in her pleasant company?
It would be a pleasure.
Do go upstairs. Her room is at the end of the corridor on the left. She has been rather sad as of late. Perhaps you will succeed in comforting her.
I'll see what I can do.
Intriguing. Do you think we can...
Damn it, I've lost again. You must be cheating, you little slut, I know it.
Many pardons, my lord, but are you not Sir Alistair Sarwick? I heard tell that you had returned to the Seven Kingdoms.
Indeed. You appear to know much about me. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
I realize that my impromptu intervention might have startled you, my lord, but pray, do not take umbrage. The return of a war hero could not help but attract my attention, particularly when his return proves to be so ostentatious.
I won no honors in the war, just scars. But you have yet to introduce yourself.
Your modesty does you honor, my lord. You forged quite a name for yourself fighting for King Robert in his rebellion. Excuse my rudeness. I've not yet told you my name. I am Lord Varys, and I hope you will count me as a friend. We never crossed paths 15 years ago, but perhaps you have heard of me?
Lord Varys, pardon me, but you scarcely look like a lord dressed thus. Besides, your name does not sound familiar.
One in my position is often gratified to go unrecognized. The disguise you see before you has been of great help to me. At the time of Robert Baratheon's rebellion, I was Master of Whispers to King Aerys Targaryen. It was my duty to keep an eye on the rising leaders within the rebel faction. That is how you attracted my attention.
Indeed. I remember now. We rebels called you the Spider. Some of our lords were wary of you. You made some enemies along the way.
Alas, the people of the Seven Kingdoms have little affection for eunuchs. All of those noble knights and grand lords are loath to risk their reputations with informers and spies. But in the Game of Thrones, information is power. Those who most despise us are often the first to benefit from our whispers.
You, who were loyal to House Targaryen. I had thought that you would have fallen with King Aerys.
My loyalty is to the crown, Sir Alistair, not to he who wears it. The moment that Robert Baratheon sat upon the Iron Throne, my duty was to assist him.
And he agreed to it. I hadn't thought that King Robert was a great friend to eunuchs and spiders.
Oh, he is not, my lord, as the gods are my witness. But it is in his nature to pardon defeated enemies who pay him homage, and that is to his great credit. Thus I kept my role as Master of Whispers, as well as my seat on the King's Council.
You must be a very busy man then, Lord Varys. I imagine that it is not coincidence that brings you to speak with me.
You are correct, my lord. I wanted to discuss the Baratheon rebellion.
Why not? There is one question that I have never been able to be free of. Do you believe that the rebellion was a good thing, after all is said and done? Is King Baratheon a better king than Targaryen?
Old King Aerys was mad, my lord. Mad and cruel. That no one can deny. His habit of burning the great people of the kingdom alive could only bring him to ruin. After that, any idiot could have passed for a good king. As for His Majesty, Robert, his subjects loved him. Of that I have little doubt, but he pays little heed to matters of the realm and remains blind to the enemies around him. I fear that a new storm brews on the horizon. Does that knowledge make you regret your part in the rebellion?
Some good came of it all the same. I find comfort in telling myself that all was not done in vain.
You were just one young knight amongst hundreds of others, and Tywin Lannister was always a demanding master. He dragged you into that war and you carried out your duty as a bannerman.
At the time, Lord Tywin wanted a foot in each camp. When he ordered us to fight for Robert, I chose to follow his orders, yes.
Why such bitterness, my friend? You fought valiantly, and, more importantly, you were on the winning side. You could have brought renown, fortune, and glory to your house, if you had so wished. And yet, when the time came to reap the benefits of your efforts, you turned away and left Westeros. I admit that I do not understand why.
It is something that I recall without fondness, Lord Varys, and of which I do not speak easily.
Ah, my dear Alistair, it is too cruel of you to leave my curiosity thus unsatisfied. But your secrets are yours alone. I have no wish to cause offense. Perhaps it would interest you to learn that your old squire, Valar, did not spurn the honors as you did. Lord Tywin Lannister covered him in gold and knighted him to reward him for his exploits and his unfailing loyalty.
For his unspeakable brutality, you mean to say? I had the opportunity to behold his work again in the square. Such a wild beast should not be left to roam free, much less granted a command. It is an invitation to disaster.
Have a care, my friend. Sir Valar has become an important member of the court. He is a faithful supporter of Queen Cersei's, and he could cause you great harm if you were to make him an enemy. I strongly recommend that you avoid making such remarks in public.